What's going on, guys? Welcome back to a brand new video. Today we are going to be talking about the massive season 5 content update. It's literally right around the corner. I know season 4 reloaded just started, but we're already into it because there's a lot of information that has already been leaked. There's a lot of operator skins that have been teased. There's some new information in regards to the weapons. So there's a lot to go over and talk about. I decided to compile all that information into one for those of you guys who are interested in that update. So if you find the video helpful or informative at any point, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. We're getting very close to 400k. Also do appreciate all the love and support you guys have been showing lately. Thank you guys for that, but let's get into it. So the very first thing you need to know about is this update is set to launch on Wednesday, July 24th at 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is a little bit over 2 weeks away from now. The thing is a week before the update goes live, we usually get the marketing, the artwork, the blog post, all the information that we need to know about it, and that goes live on Wednesday, the 17th of July at 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is literally just a little bit over a week from now. So all that hype is going to begin next Wednesday, and I want to inform you guys all about what we know so far even before that goes live. The update is expected to be around 25 to 30 gigabytes. That's usually around the standard file size for a title update like this one, but at the same time, remember, if you're on Xbox or PlayStation, they sometimes will make you download a little bit more. I've seen Xbox download like 60 or 70 gigabytes. Usually what that does is it lowers the overall size of the game, so you'll have to re-download some parts of the game and then it'll lower it, but the actual update itself should be around 25 to 35 gigabytes, and if you're on PlayStation or Battle.net, you are able to download the game a little bit earlier. Those of us on Xbox and Steam, you usually have to wait until the day of the actual update to download it. Anyway, some things to expect with the update. The first thing is there's going to be a brand new level cap. This will be the second last time that they raise the level cap for Modern Warfare 3, and it will go all the way up until level 1050. Upon reaching that, you will end up getting some prestige rewards, usually a weapon blueprint at the final one. We are expecting an operator skin for the last update, which is going to be in season 6, and that's going to be at level 1250, and there's the speculations that it could be the Soakhawk operator skin. So if you are interested in getting some operator skin reward, then I would recommend you start grinding your level early, so that way at the very end it's not a big issue or struggle. But don't expect too much content with this update. There's a couple reasons for that. Number one is this is the second last update that we have. Usually the biggest update that we get for any Call of Duty's life cycle is going to be during season 6. That's when they usually add the haunting. It's around October during Halloween. We saw the crossover with Spawn. We saw them bring in Alucard. We saw them bring Ash Williams, characters from Diablo. That's the type of things that they're going to be adding in season 6. But during season 5, the reason why they don't do that is because this is the season where the marketing for Black Ops 6 is going to continue. If you guys have forgotten, there's Call of Duty Next that's scheduled for the end of August. And remember, right after Call of Duty Next is when we get access to the beta and when we're going to get to play Black Ops 6 for the very first time. And that's usually going to be 2 weekends back to back. So from the schedule that we saw was going to go up until September 3rd, and then there's probably going to be a second free weekend where you're going to get even more access. So the majority of the update, you're really not going to be playing it much because you're more worried about Black Ops 6 and the content that's going to bring in. So that's one thing to look forward to within the update is the Black Ops 6 marketing. But anyways, let's talk about the theme of the Battle Pass. So according to forward leaks, it looks like the theme of the Battle Pass might be vaguely Wasteland themed, and there's a couple of reasons for that, because the season 5 background photos were actually leaked by Crash Thief. He ended up showcasing the assets. These are like the background photos that you see when the operator's standing in the Battle Pass, and you can see some farm related things, some wasteland related things. There were also junkyards and scrapyards being shown, and some people were saying that the scrapyards were from a Deadpool movie. That's a big stretch, but could potentially have to do with maybe Deadpool in the Battle Pass. But speaking of that, let's talk about the operator skin. So the very first one is there's an expected Deadpool crossover. This isn't 100% confirmed, but there were some finishing moves. Just to give you a recap, because I already made a whole video about this, there's a set of finishing moves that resemble movesets that Deadpool has done in past movies. There's also some superpower related stuff where you need superhuman strength to do these finishing moves, and there was a speculation that because Deadpool's releasing on the 26th, 2 days after season 5 begins, there could be a potential crossover. We don't know for sure if it will end up happening or not, but there's a couple of options. One, they could be Battle Pass operators, which would make sense with those Battle Pass assets. Another one, they could be added within a bundle. That's also possible as well. And then there's a couple of other operator skins that were sort of teased and leaked as well. You can't forget about the crossover with the Crow that was previously leaked. We thought it was going to come in. It was leaked along with Gundam. It was leaked along with Fallout. All those ended up actually coming in and releasing into the game, but the Crow never made it. And there was the reason that maybe it was delayed because the movie wasn't set to release all the way up until sometime towards the end of August. And it just wouldn't have made any sort of sense to release it that early in season 4 when the movie is not out itself. And as we've seen with crossovers, they're usually marketing, and it's a win-win situation for both sides. So if they're gonna market their movie, the movie should be out so people could watch it, and that's probably why it never made it out. And if that is the case, then it should release sometime in season 5. Another potential crossover that could come back for a second time is the Fallout event. That one is mainly because the fact that the theme is Wasteland theme, and that fits Fallout perfectly. And the fact is, the first crossover we had with Fallout was a little disappointing. People were expecting a lot more. They were expecting a bigger event, more different operators, something original from the show rather than just the task force members dressed as Vault members. So maybe they come back for a second version of this. Anyways, going on to the other operator skins that have been leaked, we have the Soap campaign. This one is for the Oligarch campaign mission that we saw in MW3. The operator skin is not currently in the files, but they actually teased him in the season 4 Reloaded trailer, and this is just a photo of the area where they tease him. This is what the operator skin looks like. It's not the hog version, but very similar and close to it, and it's because it's not available and they're usually teasing it, they're probably going to end up releasing it sometime soon. Could be like that Ghost Jeans situation. It could end up just being a bundle, but at the same time could be available in the battle pass. They usually like to throw some of the main characters in the battle pass often. The next thing that we have is there's a set list of operator skins that are going to be releasing at some point during the MW3 life cycle, and these are code names, so their names are probably not going to mean anything, but it says right here we have Thorn, we have Gulag, we have Fuel, we have Moki, Caramel, Sapphire, Gelato, Ruby, Darts, and Darts 2. Darts and Darts 2 were just added within the Season 4 Reloaded update, so these are probably going to be maybe some Battle Pass related things for Season 5. Another operator skin that was previously leaked and still has yet to come in, and I believe this may be the last perfect season for them to add her, is Milena Romanova. We did talk about how her and Laswell were leaked. It took them a couple seasons, but Laswell ended up coming into the Battle Pass, and now it's looking like maybe Milena Romanova could come in during Season 5. It wouldn't make sense during Season 6 because, as I mentioned earlier, that has to do with the haunting. The theme is going to be completely different, and they're usually going to probably introduce the campaign skins for the very last time within the Season 5 Battle Pass. It's not confirmed if she'll actually come in or not, but just because she was previously leaked, I just wanted to remind you guys of that. But let's talk about the multiplayer content. The very first one is there's a new Tug of War game mode string and images that were added. It says denying kills is important to stop the enemy from stealing your points. Win by depleting the enemy's score to 0. Grabbing dog tags will earn score for your team and steal a score from the enemy. It's like a technical tug of war where every point you get will take away from them, and then they're going to try to push forward and try to take your points away by also gaining points at the same time. Unfortunately, that's pretty much the only major leak that we have for MW3's multiplayer. You can also expect that there will be brand new multiplayer maps. Usually you can expect maybe some remakes of the Vortex. Maybe they're going to pick and choose some maps. I believe Shipment hasn't received one, so they may do a remake for Vortex to Shipment, or they're going to pick some other popular map that people play. Usually the small scale ones are the ones that they do because those are the ones people like the most. And then you can also maybe think about Bit Party. That could end up getting another map remake. They did do Favela this season. Maybe next one they'll do High Rise, or they'll do something similar to that and bring the event back once again. And then there's also the Get Higher. We have that 166 map that you can't really fully access all too much, but at the same time that could end up being brought in as an actual original map. It could be added in Season 5. They can also update the Get Higher parkour mode, bring in brand new sets of weapon camos, and then you can't forget the all original maps. I can't really tell you exactly what they would be. Usually they're going to pick locations that are real life based and turn those into brand new unique original maps. So we'll have a little bit more information once the blog post comes out for that. Anyways, let's talk about the upcoming weapons that have been leaked so far. The very first one is the Spear melee weapon. It was leaked a couple of seasons ago just because of the strings that were found in the files, but now they have officially found photos of it, and this is what it looks like, the actual model of what the weapon is going to be. So this will more than likely release in Season 5, considering it looks like they've completed it. The next weapon that we have, which was also previously leaked, is the STG-44. This is a weapon that we saw in Vanguard. We originally thought it was going to be releasing alongside the Card 98K, but at the same time that just never ended up happening. The good news is they said more additional information came out in the files, and here's what Bob Network said. He said, summary, the STG-44 and the compound bow seem on track to release. The bow also had a new attachment added, which was the snapshot arrow, and that brings me on to the third weapon, which is the compound bow. That has been leaked, I believe, since like Season 1 or 2. We thought it was going to come in with The Walking Dead. The season after that, it never came out. Along with the car, it never came out. Since then, they have been adding a bunch of different attachments to it. I remember Bob posted saying that they ended up including a shotgun arrow for it. There was also all these other explosive arrows, and there's a bunch that were previously leaked, and it looks like they're still working on it, so probably during season 5 is when it will release. The next weapon, which was recently added within the files, is called the AVS-36, which the code name for it was H-Charlie-36, and that could be the next potential weapon that we can also end up seeing. It's one of those older weapons that I believe we last saw in Call of Duty World War II. That one was also added into the files. Following that, there's also the RPL-20, which in the files is called the R-Papa-20, which is a brand new LMG. I don't think we've had an LMG added as a new weapon for a while now, so it does make sense that they add in an LMG within this update. But other than these weapons that were leaked so far, there's also a brand new set of aftermarket parts coming in, and there's a list of them. So the first one, this one is for the Moors called the Jack Widemouth, and this basically turns the Moors into the blunderbuss. And there was some early gameplay footage that Reality ended up showcasing over on Warzone Mobile. Usually those will integrate and be added within the update, and they leak them early over there, and then they come into the console and PC side. And then there is the second aftermarket part, which is for the BAL-27. We don't have a name for it, but it comes in with infinite ammo, but it does overheat after a certain point, so that's how they sort of nerf it. And then there's another one, which is the Spaz Akimbo coming in, and that one has probably one of the craziest inspect animations I've ever seen, but this is just early gameplay footage of that. Other than that, there's a couple of other aftermarket parts. These we don't really have gameplay on, but they were found in the file. So Bob said there's a new aftermarket part for the Cat AMR involving SAB and rocket ammo. There's also one for the RPK and the RAW, and they're still getting aftermarket parts as well. And then the weapons added in the last update were the ones that we talked about already. But following that, now we jump into the Warzone side of things. Unfortunately, they've been very silent with Warzone. We don't know exactly what's going to be coming in. You can expect some of the standard stuff. For example, the Warzone rewards challenges with the new camos. Those are probably going to get fully updated. There's going to be new sets of challenges and new set of camos. Hopefully, they're going to be really good. There's also other things like you can expect that the big map could bring in some features that we had in Warzone Resurgence. Warzone Resurgence could get potential map updates, new sets of LTMs, and different types of modes, but I can't really give you exactly what they're going to be bringing. We'll have to figure that out on the roadmap itself. But this is everything that has leaked so far and that we know of so far in regards to the Season 5 update. The good news is there's definitely going to be a lot more than what we've leaked because Call of Duty always keeps some surprises available. But just take all this information with a grain of salt. Some things like the weapons may make it into the game, some may get pushed back, some may get completely scrapped. You never know when it comes to these types of things, but this is everything that we have so far. What are your thoughts and opinions on this update? Do you think it's going to be a good one? But that's all that I got for you guys. If you found the video helpful or informative, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. But it's been your boy Chizo, and hopefully I'll be seeing you guys again. Peace.